Good morning, High Tech. Welcome to the Dr. No Show on WHIT Radio.org. Today, I'm your host, Matthew Alexander Sarnofsky, with Christine, Dimitri, Anhar, and Derek in the studio today. Christine, do you mind starting us off with headline news?
Yeah, well, thank you, Matt. The death toll in China's earthquake has risen to nearly 400 in the mountainous and improvised area of Qinghai province Wednesday, an emergency official said on state-run television. The Xinhua news agency reported 8,000 others were injured and many victims, including primary school children, were buried under debris. And the earthquake was said to have been 6.9 magnitude by the U.S. Geological Survey, struck at 7:49 a.m. local time, when people were probably still at home and schools were beginning the day. The USGS also recorded several strong aftershocks. One of the magnitudes were 5.8, all within the hours of the initial earthquake. Panic on the streets as crews launched rescue efforts in the rubble of the collapsed buildings. We have to mainly rely on our hands to clear away the debris, as we have no large excavating machines, said police officer Xing Weiji. We have no medical equipment either. A Chinese military official told the news agency that the death toll was expected to rise given the damage of homes. He said dispatched soldiers were setting up tents and transportation oxygen for the injured, but affected roads leading to the airport could hamper relief efforts. Also, in other news, Icelandic authorities evacuated 800 people near early Wednesday when the volcano erupted beneath the Eyjafjallajökull glacier, an emergency spokesman said. The first evacuation began at 2 a.m., according to Ragnvaldur Alfason. Chief Inspector and Iceland Department of Civil Protection and Emergency Management. He said everyone in the area was safe. We have located the fissure that is erupting under the glacier.
Thank you very much, Christine. And here's Dimitri with the weather.
Yes, thanks, Matt. Yes, today's going to is going to be going back up to 70 degrees. The low is going to be 50, but it will drop at night. So you have all day to enjoy the weather, and it should be going to like 70 at like around 12:30.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. It should be a fun day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And here's Anhar with a segment on allergies. Thank you, Anhar.
Thank you, Matt. They say that April showers brings May flowers, but this year it's bringing a little more than that. The fast shift to warmer The fast shift to a warmer climate after a wet winter is making this a very rough allergy season for everyone. A recent survey from the American College of Allergy and Asthma said that 1 out of 5 of about 500 allergy sufferers experience symptoms every day, like me. But there's hope, knowing that what you're up against. To help you a little on your allergy suffering for this season, here are the things that you should do. Keep humidity levels down. Below 40 to 45% is ideal to keep dust mites and mold from staying near you. Circulate clean air. Running an air conditioner instead of opening windows will prevent pollen from coming inside. Cover your mattress and pillows. Limit the carpeting in your room. Ensure that your bathroom is well vented and is visible from molds that occur with
well vented?
Bleach solution.
If it's well rented, I don't know if that'll help very much.
It says well vented.
Vented. Yeah.
Vented. And to run a dehumidifier in the basement to avoid the different allergies.
I hope you take a few of those suggestions to heart, Anhar.
Yeah.
It'd be off of the loose.
I'm suffering from allergies right now, and it's horrible.
Well, we all hope you feel better.
Thank you.
And now
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. And now I'd like to say something on musical theater, which is having its auditions very, very soon. We're having 2 days of audition that you have to show up on if you're interested at all. Our musical theater program is very prestigious. We're having a smaller group this year, so you really have to be interested if you want to try out. You must have a song prepared with instrumental music ahead of time, as well as preparation to do a cold read. That means they'll hand you a script and you have to act on the spot. No planning ahead of time for that. The dance portion of the audition, which you must show up on, will be from on May 13th from 3 to 5. And the acting and song portion will be May 19th during the day, or May 20th from 3 to 5. And like I said, if you're interested, show up. We'll be glad to have you around. Mr. Perez is a great teacher, great director, and hopefully you'll get in. And here's Eric with the sports.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Derek. Whoops.
It's okay.
Freudian slip.
No, thanks a lot. The overachieving Phoenix Suns have a home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. The Suns considered a borderline playoff contender when the season began. Used the dominating power of Amari Stoudemire, the virtues of playmaking of Steve Nash, and an array of long-range shooters to rout the Denver Nuggets 123-101 on Tuesday night. The victory locked up number 4 seed in the West for Phoenix, and the Suns will be number 3 if they can win at Utah on Wednesday night. It's a reward for the collective energy we're putting into the season, Nash said. We enjoy this and we want to keep getting better and see how good we can be. Stoudemire scored 26 points and Nash had 18 points and 10 assists before sitting on the fourth quarter. While this, the reserves mopped up the Suns' 11th consecutive victory over the Nuggets Phoenix. And by the fact, the Nuggets have not beaten the Phoenix since 2003. So
wow.
Yesterday I was going to try to beat them, but all wasn't well for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No luck this time. Better luck next time, right?
Better luck. And also, Chicago, as if there wasn't enough drama already, the Chicago Bulls season took another weird twist, and this one involves Coach Vinny Del Negro and Executive Vice President John Paxson. The Chicago.
Yeah, thanks to Derrick Rose.
On the night when the Bulls boosted their playoff hopes by beating the Boston Celtics 101-93, behind Derrick Rose's career-high 39 points. 39 points, everybody. The attention centered on a report that their top executive pushed their coach during a confrontation following a game last month. I'm not going to comment, Del Negro said. I go about my everyday no matter what happens. I'm a competitor. I've been involved in the game a long time. I love the challenge of it, and all the other things that happen pretty much stay internally. That's what he said.
Thank you so much, Derek, and I apologize for the slip
okay.
before. And here's this day in history. In 1865, President Lincoln was shot and mortally wounded by John Wilkes Booth while attending the comedy Our American Cousin, which wasn't a very fun performance for him, unlike what you'll be performing in musical theater if you decide to audition. Hint, hint. The following year, Anne Sullivan Macy, the American teacher who helped educate the blind, deaf, and mute Helen Keller, was born. And in 2002, Tiger Woods became the only the third golfer in history to win back-to-back Masters titles, though he didn't do so well this year. I'm sure none of you actually watched golf, but could be worse. We'll be going on a quick commercial break. When we get back, we'll be delving deeper into the Chinese earthquakes. If you wish to call, please call 201-854-8199 or 201-854-8224. Thank you very much, ITAC.
When I found out my jeans were made using child labor in sweatshops, I wrote a letter to the company saying, reconsider your labor practices. A few months later, I get a letter back saying, thanks for being a loyal customer, and they included a coupon for a 25% discount on their jeans. So I got smart, wrote letters every day to all the stores that carry the brand, asking them to stop supporting the companies who use child labor in sweatshops. And I just kept getting letters back, thanking me for my concerns, and more coupons for more discounts on more jeans. So I'm telling my friend about it, and she flips out, saying that between all the letters and coupons, some paper company cut down a small forest, driving off 2 indigenous tribes, hundreds of endangered animals, killing thousands of plant species, some of which may have contained vaccines for HIV, cancer, and syphilis. Meanwhile, the guys cutting down the trees are 13-year-old kids who will work night and day for months just to save up enough money to buy a pair of jeans made by child labor in sweatshops.
Saving the world isn't easy, but saving a life is. Just 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives.
Welcome back to the Dr. No Show on WHITradio.org. And here, to start things off, we'll discuss with Christine with the situation in China. Christine?
Well, yeah, as mentioned before, it has the deaths has risen already to 400 people, and the reportedly 8,000 others were injured and many victims. Oh, and school children were buried under.
That's such a shame. That's such a shame. It's obviously hell over there right now, and the death toll is only going to get much, much larger, as it always does. But we always end up being the ones who finance a lot of the situations that occur. I'm sure most of you would agree on that. We're not doing so well ourselves right now, and can we afford to be helping people who are in an awful situation in China right now, when we ourselves can't afford to finance jobs in our own country and are having to pay for an expensive healthcare bill on top of it?
Definitely not. We owe China a lot of money, like 5.2 trillion.
Isn't that more of a reason to help them, though? Because they've financed us.
But still, we owe them a lot of money if we don't have enough money in the bank to help them out.
We're in debt for over... I think we're in debt for like $1.3 trillion. And China has a surplus of a good 2-point-something trillion dollars.
Thanks to us.
And if we're in debt and they have extra money on their hand,
they can help themselves.
They can help themselves. I mean, look at Haiti. Haiti had no money at all. I understand helping them. China is the richest country right now.
And it's
How are we supposed to help the richest country when we're in debt ourselves?
I understand we are in a lot of debt, but and it's even worse than 1.3 trillion. That's how much we owe. That doesn't count how much that we say we can pay for, but we have no finances to pay for yet. It's even much, much larger than that. Much, like several dozens of thousands of dollars per person in the country, man, woman, and child.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know this is wrong, and it goes against everything because we're like the country that always helps. But right now we have to help ourselves, and we have to think about ourselves. We can't afford.
I understand that issue, but it's also really bad over there, too. And if anyone would like to comment, please call in once again at 201-854-8199 or 201-854-8224. We would love to have you in on this discussion, as well as the following one on the sports and summer programs.
For some reason, I think that this like an earthquake season, 2010, because it's like every country is having different earthquakes at different times. It makes it makes people think like, is the world coming to an end? Is it me? I'm asking because.
Well, the world works in cycles in so many ways. The weather, the earth itself, things prepare themselves, things set up, and then things occur. That's how everything works, cause and effect. I put my foot out. You're walking, you trip over the foot, cause and effect. Things happen ahead of time, thousands, millions of years beforehand, and start coming into fruition. So it's really impossible to tell if something different is happening now, or if we're just going into another cycle, and that we're just building on land we shouldn't be building on.
Does this mean that the world is ending? Because the earthquakes is really a lot if you think about it. I'm saying because
I think
it looked like 2012 is playing on right now.
I think people are starting to save money the wrong way and building on land they shouldn't be building on.
You're right.
And now that we have global news coverage, we're hearing about disasters that probably happened millions of times before that we never knew about.
We should stop. We should help out. Stop pollution the air and stop global warming. Because if we stop that, we could stop earthquakes from occurring. Actually, we can.
No.
Earthquakes are a form of global warming. If you think about it, science, environmental science, Matthew.
It's no.
I took environmental science.
No.
We can help it.
People don't even know what causes global warming, and if we have that big of a factor on it.
Matt,
some areas are colder.
Air pollution, factories, pollution.
Wrong issue here.
I'm saying if we can stop global warming, we can help stop earthquakes.
Why is ice growing in the South Pole and melting in the North?
I don't know. You tell me. You brought it up. You tell me. Why is it?
We go through cycles in different areas of the just like with earthquakes. We go through different cycles. The planet changes over time.
The planet does not change by itself. Something has to have an effect on it in order to change.
But it causes so many things itself. There's so many other animals on the planet. There's so many other species of plants, of bacteria.
So you're trying to tell me the animals are the ones who cause earthquakes?
No.
It's
you brought global warming.
No, I'm saying because global warming. I took environmental science, and the things that I read.
We don't. Earthquakes are the way the tectonic plates move are still theorized. I mean, we know for the most part how they interact, but we can't actually go and study them to any extensive detail. I mean, for all we know, there's a man twisting this giant cylinder in the core of the Earth. How is anyone to disprove
Are you serious?
that? How is anyone to disprove that? I'm being ridiculous.
Are you kidding me?
I'm being ridiculous here to prove a point. How does anyone disprove it? Can you go to the center of the Earth and tell me right now that God isn't there turning a wheel laughing at all of us? Can you? Can you, Derek? No, you cannot.
Is this insane? Let me ask. So, what do you think causes a global warming earthquake something?
Pixies.
What?
Pixies.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm done.
You want my answer?
I'm done.
Oh my God.
You hear this? I'm done.
We'll be going on another short break. When we get back, we'll be discussing the current fate of high-tech sports and summer courses. If you'd like to call in, please, once again, call in for 201-854-8199 or 201-854-8224. And if you want to talk about this topic as well, please call in.
Hi,
We'd be interested.
I'm Joanne Woodward. Ever notice how many things in life happen in a circle? The seasons, revolving credit, hula hoops, the spinning of the circle we call Earth, and recycling. Together, we've already made a difference. Sorting glass, plastic, separating cans, stacking newspapers. Now there are lots of products made from things we've already recycled. A paperclip, in a more daring life, a 56 convertible. A cereal box, once your Sunday paper. It all goes back to the circle. It starts when we recycle trash at home and at work. It's completed when we buy products made from recycled materials. How do you know the difference? Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. You'll save a tree, you'll save energy, and in your own way, you'll help save the world. Complete the circle.
For your free Buy Recycled shopping guide, call 1-800-2...
I'm following the thought, too. I feel like this is my best day on this morning show. I don't know. I feel
Good, yeah. You got a good pace and kept the energy up.
Welcome back to the Dr. No Show on WHITradio.org. On our last segment, we discussed the earthquakes in China as well as pixies and global warming. You know, so just so you know. What the hell? We talk about everything here.
Yeah.
Both the insane and the sane. Mostly the insane, but that's more fun anyway. Before the spring break, I had managed to secure an interview with Dr. Gimarella, which I hope most of you had listened to. If you had not, please come back into WHITradio.org and look up a special presentation with Dr. Gimarella. Anyway, during my interview with him, I had brought the issue of sports and the summer classes as well as the leap classes. And while we had spoken on this program previously that we were almost positive we were losing our sports program and our summer courses and a lot of our leap programs, he reassured us. I hope you know, because you probably should have listened to me, because I would be very upset if you didn't watch me. All right, that I'll let this one slide.
You gotta put that in
I'll
mind.
let this one slide. Just one. Just one. Anyway. He reassured us that he would try to keep about 90% of what we currently have, though our funds are are around half what they were in that area. We're not sure if we're going to have a sports program. We're just not sure what league we're going to be in and how large it's going to be and what sports it will entail. But most of the summer league classes will be gone. We're going to have only a limited number of them. And we're going to have to cut back a bit on the other leap courses, but that's not finalized yet.
They got some summer classes that people really don't need, and I think they should take them out and keep the important ones.
They're focusing, I think, mainly on the AP courses.
Yeah, they should keep that and take the ones that really don't matter.
So are you guys reassured now that that you're not going to lose what you want? Or do you guys, are you still a little nervous that you might lose your programs?
Still nervous because if they will keep the sports, but they're not going to fund us. Like right now, we don't have to pay for the sweatshirts and stuff. But next year we're going to have to pay for them.
But when you rather have your team than lose it.
You're right.
Anyways, would any of you like to contribute?
Word.
I was actually looking forward to my leap course that I wanted to take because...
What would that be, by the way, Christine?
Anatomy.
I'm not fully sure about that. I know the AP courses he's trying to keep, but I have no clue.
Matt, what kind of AP courses is he going to keep?
He didn't specify many. I'm not fully sure yet. I think he's going to keep in SAT prep as well.
Keep that.
As well as some of the other preparation courses. But we're not going to be as extensive next year, and that's a shame because I look forward to summer classes as well. But in our sports programs, we can't guarantee that it's going to be nearly as extensive as it is right now.
Let me ask you something, Matt. This is out of the picture of sports and stuff.
Go on.
What can the government do in order to keep us out of debt, in order to help the schools and different things like that?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Nothing, very much.
But let me ask you something ignorant, I'd say. But
No. There's no such thing as a stupid question, so long as you actually have a question to ask.
We have different various mints in the United States, a lot of them in the various places and stuff. Can we start making money over there? And that's a question. That's a question.
We can. Here's the problem: if you start making $2 for every $1, each dollar is worth half the amount. I'm simplifying things heavily because it takes time for things to affect. It can be much worse. It can be better than that, depending on how people think things are going on. A lot of things have to do with people's heads. If they think the economy is doing well, it tends to do better. If they think it's doing poorly, it tends not to. If we keep printing money, you cut down how much it's worth. Like, say someone had 2 apples to sell and 2 people that wanted to buy 2 apples. That's pretty simple there. But let's say you can't really force more money out of them because there's no competition. There's only 1 apple, 2 people want to buy it. You can hike the price up and see who's more willing to purchase it. That's what happens when you start printing more money. It leads to inflation.
One more question. What I really don't understand this, but what made us go into debt, the United States, into recession?
There's a lot of factors.
Can you name one of them?
One of them is the housing crisis. We allowed people to buy homes that they couldn't afford on loans. And when they all...
It's the Pixies. It's the Pixies and the man in the middle of the...
The Pixies are obviously at fault here as well. Yes, they're always involved in my head. But anyway, the housing crisis. When that occurred, when people started defaulting on their loans, on all loans in general, people started taking out more money than they could pay back. Everything started to collapse. That's one of the factors. Another one is our government spends so much money on bureaucracy. We are the most inefficient people you can ever imagine when it comes to government. We pay 3 people to do one person's job usually. I mean, we have how many messengers going in between people telling them, oh, you do this, tell them, they'll tell someone else to do that. We can't, no one ever goes in our government and says, okay, I'm going to go directly to this person, we're going to discuss this, and we'll get this fixed. And no one ever wants to talk about cutbacks for money because someone's going to be affected every single time. Either someone will lose their job in the bureaucracy or will lose funding somewhere in this country. And they're always afraid to cut something, so they'll always loan for more money. And our debt will get larger, and our interest will make it even larger. And then our problem gets even larger, and we'll have to either eventually cut more things out or raise taxes substantially.
Oh, so let me say something add to that. I heard like last week 6 teachers from Catch Prep got fired. So this thing is really taking a toll on people and different things like that. And but
what would you rather have? Some teachers that may or may not deserve to be... I'm not saying they deserve to be fired at all. But I'm saying theoretically, let's say you have some teachers that some classes you don't necessarily need, or that could be filled in by 1 teacher for 2 classes. Would you rather lose several programs or trim down the staff a bit? I just want your opinion. I understand both sides of the coin on this one.
From my perspective, I would trim down the staff a little bit, but that we can always think about something else going around it. We don't have to fire them. We could think about another thing we can do in order to keep them.
I think we should be cutting more things in our government right now. I mean, we are paying for way too much. I mean,
but when you turn down staff and you fire staff,
yes,
you have to think how that affects us afterwards.
Oh, I understand.
They don't have money, which puts us in more debt. It's a cycle. Like by them firing them.
Oh, there's no completely
I honestly would have thought you would take out a class that is unneeded. Like I'm not trying to say anything like bad against any certain like class or anything, but there are some ridiculous classes, like
very
ridiculous. Like you do not need them to graduate. They will never help you in life, and they're still there. A teacher.
We could probably get rid of shoe manufacturing as a class. I don't really think that.
You got shoe manufacturing class?
No, we don't.
Oh.
No.
But look, that teacher could have had family members who's going to support for them, who's going to fund for them. I mean, I would imagine taking out a class than taking out a teacher who has a family and needs the money that she or he is receiving at this time.
But what if you don't have enough money for both that class and that teacher? What if it's between both of those, or a program, or cutting back on a program, like a sports program or another class? I mean, what if there is no good choice?
I got a solution for New Jersey.
Print more money.
No,
not that.
It doesn't work.
The Governor Chris Christie
I'm for
has
Christie.
brought big toe.
He had a
in
bad
New Jersey.
situation. He had a really bad situation.
No.
He was. Our state is in so much debt right now, and honestly,
he looks like the bad guy right now. Honestly.
He looks like the bad guy because he has to make awful decisions that there are no good answers to, and the teachers union prevent him from getting rid of things like tenure. Do you guys believe in tenure? That the longer you're a teacher, if you're a teacher for a certain amount of time, you should not be allowed to be taken out for almost anything unless it's really bad. Shouldn't it be on merit, how good of a teacher you are? Like Mr. Placino here. You know, it should be on how good you are, like how great of a teacher he is. I want an A+, by the way, sir. But anyway, if you're a great teacher, no matter how long you've been there, shouldn't you be there longer than a so-so teacher that's been there a long time?
You're right. But hold on, let me ask you something.
No, and no Anar? Why? I'm just curious.
Anar?
What happened?
Unplug your ears. I know the allergies are killing you, but I know the allergies are hurting you there, but you should still listen to it a little bit.
Okay.
So, why are you for tenure?
I don't know. I feel like if you've been there for a longer amount of time and you have more experience, you know how the school works. I don't think someone that just started teaching should take your spot. Like, if you have a first-year teacher there, let's say I just started and Dimitri's been a teacher at that school for 10 years, and I'm a good teacher, whatever, but you've seen Dimitri's work for 10 years. You know what Dimitri's capable of. You can't judge me based on 10 years of Dimitri's work, so you're going to take out Dimitri because I'm better than him?
Well, yeah.
When he's been there for 10 years and you know his capabilities?
Well, yes, if I know his capabilities, that's one reason to do it. All right, guys, that concludes our show for today. This was the Dr. No Show on Radio.org, and thank you, High Tech. Good morning.
Bye.
This has been a presentation of WHIT